Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and for being here today. Say hello, baby. Oh my gosh, right for the ear. Okay. All right, so anyway, for today's video, I figured I would kind of go back to my roots, you know, go back to what I used to do all the time, and that is do kind of like a sit down chit-chatty video about, you know, some weight loss topic. But anyway, for today's video, I wanted to go over my top 10 tools, my top 10 kitchen tools for weight loss. So this list does include stuff I'm using now, as well as stuff I used at the beginning of my weight loss journey. There are a couple things I don't really use anymore, but I still wanted to share just because I know a lot of you are still on that stage. Obviously, I don't think any of these are 100% required for weight loss. I've said before, I'll say again, I really don't think you have to spend any money to lose weight, because when it comes down to it, calories in, calories out, none of these tools, you know, are the secret to weight loss. However, a lot of these tools do make it easier to track your calories, track what you're consuming. They help you make healthier, you know, alternatives to the foods you love. And yeah, the secret to weight loss is consistency, calories in, calories out. These tools have just helped me along the way. But before I jump in, I wanted to quickly say that I have actually created a second hobby channel. So yeah, I did create a second channel. Don't worry, this channel is going nowhere. I'm still uploading on this channel regularly. However, this is definitely like my healthy living wellness channel, and there are a lot of other topics that I find interesting that I want to talk about on YouTube. So I did create a second channel. I'll put the link in the description box, as well as the links of everything I mentioned in this video. But I did want to quickly say that I have created a second channel. It's going to be geared more towards like my fashion. I'm going to be doing lots of hauls. I'm going to be talking about true crime, conspiracy theories, basically a bunch of stuff that I'm interested in, but I just don't feel like it's appropriate to post on this channel. So I won't go too much into it. I did post my first video on that channel where I kind of talk more in depth about what I want that channel to be. So if you guys are interested in seeing more of my content outside of the healthy living space, definitely click that link below. No worries if you don't, absolutely no hard feelings. That is why I created a second channel instead of putting it all in here, because I understand a lot of you don't give a shit about my interests. A lot of you don't care about my haul or my learnings about witchcraft. All right, so the number one tool that I have found to be beneficial for me in my weight loss journey. This is 100% my favorite thing on this list, starting off strong. And the number one spot goes to the one, the only, my motherfucking air fryer.
Oh, Miss America, I love you.
Put her on, and it cooks. All right, so if you've been around a while, you've heard of my air fryer, because she is my girl. She is my number one, my ride or die. I love my air fryer. I would die without my air fryer, girl. So basically, if you don't know what an air fryer is, get ready to have your mind blown. Basically what it is it fries your food without oil. It fries your food with air. Air. Not only does it fry your food with air, but it makes your food way quicker than the oven. So basically what I use my air fryer for, you can put anything in the air fryer. I love putting my meatballs in there, my Gardein meatballs, potatoes, oh, the perfect crispy potato. Put it in the air fryer. You can like do your vegetables in the air fryer. You can basically any frozen food that you usually put in the microwave, put it in the air fryer, because it's 8,000 times better. But anyway, air fryer is a game changer, especially if you're someone who is still kind of craving the taste of fried food. When it comes to weight loss, I feel like a lot of people struggle because they don't realize that a lot of the things they are using are more calorically dense than, you know, they assumed. Me, I was definitely one of those people. Before I started losing weight, I was an oil fiend. I mean, I feel like everyone is. Everyone loves oil in their food. It tastes delicious. But now that I look back, I can confidently say that each meal probably had about 400 calories of just oil. And I guess that brings me to the second thing. I originally had a list of things I was gonna say in particular order, but I feel like I'm just gonna not fucking do that, because I'm gonna let my self-talk organically, let the words flow. But yeah, so the second thing is actually cooking spray. I'm sure a lot of you use cooking spray already, and I know this isn't like rocket science, this isn't revolutionary, you know, advice, but cooking spray has saved my ass. The thing about cooking spray is, if you are someone who wants to use oil, because you can put oil on your food in the air fryer, it just makes it more crispy, makes it more delicious, but you don't need to, which is why I like it. But the thing about cooking spray is it comes out more portioned, I guess. Like, it is much easier to control how much oil you eat when you use cooking spray opposed to when you use oil. I know we've all been there when we're like holding that oil bottle thinking we're going to add just the tiny amount, when suddenly your hand tips a bit too much, it's like and then there's just oil everywhere and it's already on your hot pan and you don't know what to do, so you say, oh, guess I'll eat it anyway. The third thing that has literally changed my life in the kitchen, and that is a digital food scale. So this is another thing I've talked about plenty of times on my channel. My scale has saved my ass so many times. You really don't realize portion sizes until you weigh it out on a scale and then you're like, oh shit. So you're telling me I've actually been eating 6 servings of cereal at once because one serving is this fucking big? So we can see 85 grams. What the fuck? That's it? That's all I get? This tiny ass bowl? I hate you, kitchen scale. Measuring cups, I swear to God, cannot be trusted. Every measuring cup is different. And not only that, but people use measuring cups differently. Some people do like heaping, you know, like when there is a little pile of food over the measuring cup. Some people do right to the top. Some people do like a couple centimeters below. Like it is just so much easier to get an accurate number when you have a digital food scale. All right, so here for our experiment, you may see I have these are 2 measuring cups. This one is a half cup. Can you read that? I promise it does say half cup. And this one is also a half cup. These are the same. That's what they say. They're the same. All right, can you see this? She is full with coffee. Do we see this? Okay, let's see. Fuck. She's full. Do we see this? Do we see that? So now I'm gonna take this cup of coffee. I'm gonna put it in here. And theoretically, in theory, they should be the same amount, correct? Correct? Wrong! This one is nowhere close. Look at that. Look how much room is in this. And if I was using this one, like, I don't think you guys know how much more coffee I can fit in this. Like, this is another half of these. There's still more room. You little. I always weigh my food instead of measuring. And like I said, that is just because it's more accurate. So I've already lost track of what number we're on. So I'm just gonna start saying the next thing and I'll put the numbers on the screen, I'm sorry. But the next thing, and I admittedly own one of these, but I haven't used it a lot, but I'm including it in this list because I know it is a lifesaver for many people, and that is an Instant Pot. So if you don't know what an Instant Pot is, it is essentially a pressure cooker and it makes it so easy to meal prep, to cook. Oh, and she will be loved. But the main reason why I'm including it is because it makes it so easy to meal prep, because it's one of those things, you take all your stuff, you throw it in, you leave it alone for a few hours, you come back and it's done. So again, just like the air fryer, people use the pressure cooker for a lot of things. If you want to make like stews, curries, soups, like whatever you want, you can even put solid foods in there. You know what else you can make? I've seen people make cakes in their Instant Pots, okay? You can make the bombest chili ever. People make eggs in their Instant Pot. Truly, if you're someone who's lazy like me and you do not like using a lot of pots and pans, you don't like being adventurous in the kitchen, get an Instant Pot. You get it, you put it on your counter, you put whatever the hell you want in it, and you just let it be. So next is meal prep containers. So admittedly, I'm not really a big meal prep person. I tend to just like cooking my meals as I go, especially because I work from home. Like I just don't really like meal prepping. Meal prepping is something I do very rarely, but for when I do, so anytime, for example, I make pasta, instead of measuring each portion explicitly, I'll just make it all, have some meal preps for the future. I cannot recommend meal prep containers enough. I have like the basic ass ones that everyone has, got them on Amazon, that's where everyone gets them. And basically they just keep your food stored and accessible. It's just a very comforting feeling, especially if you're new and you still have a lot of anxiety when it comes to food and what you can eat. It's just very, I don't know, it's just, it makes you feel good knowing that you have healthy food in your fridge that you can grab whenever you want. Especially if you're someone who often succumbs to peer pressure around food, or someone who succumbs to that late night munchies and you're like, I'll just order a fucking pizza. No, girl, you don't gotta order a pizza. You got rice and tofu in the fridge. Go eat your rice and tofu. Yeah, be sad about it. Be sad about it. All right, so the next tool I recommend having in the kitchen is parchment paper. So for those of you who don't know, parchment paper is essentially aluminum foil that you use to bake things on. However, you don't have to use oil on it, so it is non-stick. Again, just back to the oil thing, I don't want to, you know, harp on it too much, but oil is something that I seriously never really expected to screw me over as much as it did. It's just important to be mindful of the caloric value of those things because, you know, you're still consuming them, and yes, they still count, unfortunately. All right, so the next tool I suggest, and this isn't something I use anymore, but it is something I used at the beginning of my weight loss journey a lot, and it was very helpful, and that is a spiralizer. So if you're unaware of what a spiralizer is, welcome to the enlightenment. I mean, these things are fucking cool. Basically what it is you can spiralize almost any vegetable into being like a spiraled like noodle type thing. So if you're someone who is trying to limit your carb intake, or you're someone who's just trying to save the calories from noodles, because have you ever weighed serving of noodles? Get a spiralizer. You can put it in pasta, you can put it in salads, have some spiralized, you know, I don't know, carrots in your salad. Why the fuck not? Everything tastes better when it's in a cool shape. It's facts. It's facts. All right, so the next tool I've been using quite regularly and I love is my tofu press. So if you're someone who eats tofu, you may or may not know. If you don't know, you're about to learn and your mind's gonna be blown. But before you eat tofu, you're definitely supposed to press it. You're supposed to put weight on it so you can get rid of all the excess moisture, all the excess water that comes out of the tofu, and that just makes baking, using it in basically any recipe, a lot easier, and it makes it a lot crispier and a lot more delicious. But anyway, before my tofu press, I just had to stack shit on top of my tofu, like plates and stuff, anything weighted to make the water come out. Obviously that was not a very safe idea. God knows I would hit my ass off a tower of plates and they would shatter everywhere. So instead of continuing that dangerous activity, you know, living my life on the edge like the rebel I am, I decided to just invest in a tofu press on Amazon for like 20 bucks, and it has been life-changing. My ninth tool that I use a lot in the kitchen for weight loss is actually a tea kettle. We don't have a tea kettle here, we have a Keurig, but it does the same thing. Like it produces the hot water. And the reason why I suggest this is because of tea. If you're not a tea person, you can be. You just gotta find the right tea. Whenever it's like late night and I'm bored and I think I want to eat everything, because that's just my nightly ritual, you know, get bored, think I'm hungry, think I need to eat 1,000 calories, have to convince myself I don't, you know, it's the same thing over and over. Whenever I kind of get in that mood, I make tea, and I just, you know, make a green tea, a peppermint tea, whatever I'm feeling, and then I add sweetener to it, because then it's just like a sweet little warm drink that's so satisfying, and it takes my mind off my boredom, it satisfies me, and then I don't eat 2,000 calories at 9 p.m. All right, so the final tool that I recommend, and this is one that I know for a fact you have all heard 800 times, but no one ever listens to it. We're all like, yeah, okay. No, but for real, this is one you gotta do. And that is get regular or small size plates and bowls. Listen up. I know a lot of you are like, Jordan, we've heard this our whole fucking lives, and that's the worst advice I've ever heard from you. When you hear that, nobody actually goes out and buys like new bowls and plates. They're like, oh yeah, whatever. I'll just put a little bit of food on my big plate. That's what we all think that we're gonna do. We don't do that. I started putting my cereal in one of my smaller bowls compared to my bigger bowls, and it was shocking, okay? My preferred bowl. Meh. It is shocking how much easier it makes it for me not to eat more than I should, because I filled a small bowl as high as it can go, and then you physically can't fit any more in it, so I can't eat that unless I go back and get seconds, but that's not the point. But yeah, guys, so that is it for this video. I hope you found it helpful. I do have food videos coming, so stay tuned. And yeah, so definitely check out my new channel if that's something you're interested in, and I'll put that down below. All the links to everything I mentioned down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye. Say goodbye. I love you. Okay, bye.